So here's the question, the one that really separates the businesses that make it from the ones that don't. Why do some companies just, you know, thrive while others with maybe even better products just fail?
Yeah, that is the puzzle, isn't it? And everyone looks for these simple answers like, oh, it's just good timing, or they got lucky, or they had a ton of funding.
Right.
But when we dug into the analysis for this, it all pointed to one thing: marketing. And I don't mean just running a few ads. I mean marketing as a core business science.
Exactly. And for this deep dive, we went straight to the source, to Philip Kotler. He's basically known as the father of modern marketing and his big work, marketing management.
He's the one who really turned the whole thing from this kind of messy art of selling into a proper, repeatable science.
He really did. And generations of leaders have used his work.
Now, you have to remember, Kotler was originally writing for, the big guys, the Fortune 500s, with massive budgets and global supply chains.
Huge companies.
But what we found is that the core principles, these 6 strategic foundations we're going to talk about, they are not just adaptable for small businesses. They're arguably even more critical when you're just starting out with limited resources.
That's the mission for today's deep dive. We're going to give you that structure. We've distilled these huge concepts into 6 foundations you can use immediately. And it's all focused on improving one single metric.
Just one, the conversion rate.
The conversion rate. Explain that.
It's just the ultimate measure of your efficiency. I mean, if you optimize nothing else, optimize this. It's about knowing your market so deeply that when 100 potential customers see your offer, a really high percentage of the right people say yes, and they say it quickly.
Because if that rate is low, every dollar you spend on ads, every email you send,
it's all just painfully inefficient. You're just wasting so much effort.
Okay, so let's jump right in with the first principle. And this is the one that I think almost every startup, including my own back in the day, gets wrong. Principle 1, market segmentation.
It's the biggest mistake you can make. It's trying to be everything to everyone.
Chasing the whole market.
Yes. When you say your product is for all businesses, you're actually competing with everyone, and your message just becomes noise. It's a race to the bottom on price.
So segmentation is the opposite. It's surgical.
It is. You have to divide that huge market into smaller, well-defined groups. And here's the critical part. You choose just one of those groups to focus on.
Let's talk about the power of that specificity.
Well, think about it. Instead of saying, we offer VA services to entrepreneurs, which is way too broad.
Right. What does that even mean?
You say, we serve solo real estate agents in high-growth cities who are struggling with transaction management.
Whoa. Okay. That is a huge shift.
Yeah.
And I can immediately see what happens. Your service is now a perfect fit for that one person.
A perfect fit. And your marketing message, it speaks their exact language. When that agent hears transaction management complexity, they immediately think, oh, they get me. They understand my world.
And that's where the leverage comes from, right? Because specialists can always charge more than generalists.
Always. You're no longer just one of 100 VAs. You're the solution for that one really painful problem. You've escaped the price war.
I get the strategy, but I also know the fear. When you're starting out, you feel like you have to say yes to anyone who comes along. How do you fight that?
It's pure discipline, but the logic holds up. I mean, look at the example of project management software.
Okay.
If you don't segment, you're up against Asana, Trello, Monday.com, all the giants. Your message has to be generic, something like stay organized.
So you just look like a cheaper, worse version of them.
Exactly. But what if you segment? What if you build software specifically for, say, small creative agencies that manage client projects?
Okay, now you can add features they actually need.
Right. Features like a client approval workflow built right in, or a revision tracking history, things the big guys would never prioritize.
So when that agency sees your software, they're not comparing your $35 a month fee to Trello's free plan.
Not at all. They're comparing it to the cost of one missed deadline. They think this was built for us, and they happily pay the premium. If you skip segmentation, you're just stuck competing on price.
So once you know who you're talking to, you have to figure out what to offer them. Which brings us right to the next 2 principles. The marketing mix Kotler's famous 4 Ps, and then the value proposition.
The 4 Ps are your system: product, price, place, and promotion. And the biggest thing people forget is that they have to align. They have to work together like gears in an engine.
It's a system. That's the key. If one of those Ps is out of sync with the others, You just create confusion.
And confusion kills conversion. You can't have a luxury product with the bargain basement price. It just doesn't compute for the customer.
Okay, give us an example.
Let's use a luxury skincare line. So you create this amazing anti-aging serum. That's your product. But then you price it at $15.
Okay, red flag. That price signals cheap ingredients, even if it's not true.
Right, that's the price. Then for place, you just sell it on Amazon. Next to thousands of other budget options, the whole thing is a total disconnect.
So the luxury buyer skips it because it seems cheap, and the bargain hunter is suspicious of the luxury claim. You confused everyone.
Exactly. Now, let's look at the aligned approach. The luxury serum product is priced at a premium $89. That's the price.
Makes sense.
It's sold only through high-end boutiques and your own beautiful website. That's the place. And the promotion is all about content on ingredient sourcing and working with niche health influencers.
So every single piece is communicating the same message. Premium quality.
It's consistent. That's what makes the marketing believable and, frankly, effortless.
And once those 4 Ps are aligned, you have to define your value proposition. This is maybe the most important sentence in your entire business.
It's the answer to one question. Why should I buy from you and not from anyone else?
And it's not just a list of features, huh?
No, absolutely not. It's the total value, the transformation you deliver, minus the total cost to the customer, and that includes their time and effort, not just money. And value is what the customer perceives it to be. That's the key part.
This is where you eliminate price resistance. Because if someone says, you're too expensive, what are they really saying?
They're saying, I don't see enough value here to justify that price. It's a value problem, not a price problem.
Let's use the meal delivery service example. A weak value proposition would be.
We deliver fresh, healthy meals. That's a commodity. It's all about features.
But a strong, outcome-focused one would be.
We give you 3 hours of your life back every single week.
Oh, that's good.
Stop the planning, the shopping, the cleanup. Get that family time back without the stress. You're not selling food anymore.
By selling time. And peace of mind.
Exactly. So when you charge $150 a week, the customer isn't comparing it to the price of groceries. They're comparing it to the value of 3 stress-free hours of their life. That's how you justify the premium.
That clarity is everything. Which leads us perfectly into Principle 4, which is so important for our audience. Marketing research on a budget.
Yes. Big companies do research to validate, multi-million-dollar decisions. For a small business, research is about preventing expensive mistakes.
De-risking your next move.
Precisely. It doesn't have to be some massive study. It just means using simple, systematic ways to learn about your market before you spend a ton of time or money.
Let's use the example of launching an online course. The classic mistake, the no research approach, is what?
It's spending 3 months building what you think is the perfect course. Then you guess a price, maybe $4.97, you launch it, and you get 2 sales.
Oof, that's a painful sounding story.
You wasted months on a guess. The research approach flips it. Before you build anything, you validate.
Oh.
Step 1, you survey your email list or your social followers. What's your single biggest pain point right now? Step 2, you run a free webinar on that exact topic to see who shows up.
You're testing interest.
You're testing interest. And then step 3, you offer a limited 50% off beta program to get real feedback and test your pricing. By the end of those 3 months, you have a product the market has already told you it wants.
The lesson is so clear. Mistakes are expensive, but validation is cheap.
It is. And once you validate what works, that leads right into Principle 5, relationship marketing.
The transactional trap.
Exactly. Traditional marketing is all about the one-off sale. Get the transaction, move on. But Kotler's view was about the long game, building customers for life.
And when you look at the actual numbers, it's not even a contest.
The math is just staggering. We found data showing it costs 5 to 7 times more to get a new customer than to just keep an existing one.
That's a huge cost.
And it gets better. Existing customers spend, on average, 67% more. And if you can increase your customer retention by just 5%, just 5, your profits can jump by anywhere from 25 to 95%.
That's the compounding effect of a real business.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just on a revenue treadmill, constantly replacing the customers you lose. It's exhausting.
We see this with software tools all the time.
Oh,
The
yeah.
transactional business, they only email you when your credit card fails. And they probably have a 10% monthly churn rate. They're just bleeding customers.
So they have to spend a fortune just to stand still.
Right. But The relationship-focused business, they have a great welcome series, they share helpful case studies, they host Q&A sessions, they might even send a little anniversary note.
They're investing in the relationship.
They are. And their churn rate might be down at, say, 3%. Their customers stay longer, they refer their friends, they upgrade. Those relationships become a strategic asset.
Which brings us to our final strategic foundation, Principle 6, competitive analysis. Because you're never operating in a vacuum.
Right. And the point of competitive analysis is not to obsess over your competitors or to copy them.
What is it then?
It's for strategic differentiation. It's a systematic way of looking at what they do well and maybe more importantly, what they do poorly, so you can find a gap in the market that you can own.
I see so many founders fall into one of two traps here. Either they ignore their competition completely,
Assuming their idea is just so unique it doesn't matter.
or they obsess over every little move a competitor makes and get totally pulled off course.
Both are terrible strategies. A proper analysis forces you to be clear. It shows you the underserved customers, the weaknesses you can exploit.
Let's go back to the project management app for a second.
Perfect example. A good analysis would show you that all the big tools, Asana, Trello, all of them, are getting really complex and expensive. They're built for big corporate teams.
So the analysis reveals the gap.
The gap is the solo professional, the freelancer. They're being ignored. So you strategically launch a simple, affordable $15 a month tool that has no team features.
You market it as the antidote to corporate bloat.
You're not even playing their game. You're serving a segment they can't or won't serve. That's what strategic analysis gives you. If you skip it, you just end up building another Me Too product and competing on price until you run out of money.
That was fantastic deep dive. We've taken these huge corporate principles and made them really actionable. So before we close out, let's give everyone a quick practical exercise they can do right now.
Okay, this will take you less than 10 minutes, and it puts that last principle, competitive analysis, right into action.
Let's do it.
Step 1, list your top 3 direct competitors. Step 2, for each one, write down what they do better than you, what you do better than them, and, this is the important one, what their customers are always complaining about online.
Okay, you're looking for patterns in the complaints.
So you're looking for the gaps. What pain point is out there that nobody is solving well? And then, step 4, based on that gap, you write one sentence. It follows this formula. Our unique position is this specific transformation for this specific customer who wants this specific outcome.
And that one sentence, that becomes your North Star for everything.
That guides everything. Your 4 Ps, your relationships, everything. And it all connects back to Kotler's central idea. He said marketing isn't about having the best product.
It's about creating and communicating superior value.
To the right customers, that's the whole discipline.
So these 6 principles, segmentation, the 4 Ps, your value prop, research, relationships, and competitive analysis, they aren't just tactics.
They're the foundation. They're what ensures you stop guessing and start building your business on real insight.
It's the difference between building on rock and building on sand.
Exactly. It's what allows for sustainable, profitable growth that doesn't burn you out. Stop chasing everyone. Start defining your unique position today.